And through that, to become blessed, to achieve the highest perfection of our human potential is revealed by Bhagavan Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That is Sri Radha Dashyam. So when we study anything in connection to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, it should be very clear which direction we are moving. And if we go to specific direction, then we have specific contemplation of our destination. The contemplation takes place in our antakaran, in our subtle body. And that contemplation, that manifestation or the perception of our ultimate destination, supreme destination, eventually we hanker to be able to see through our eyes also. So first, that destination will be revealed, contemplated through our contemplation in our inner vision, in our consciousness. That is the inner vision. And what we become conscious of through that contemplation and fascination, we hanker to see it face to face with our very eyes. So that is the purpose. We have studied the first three slokas of Sikshastakam. They are very, in a very wonderful sequence. The first sloka of Sikshastakam gives tremendous hope, It is like the thesis. In spite of being given such hope, so many benefits. What a wonderful proposal of first sloka by participating in Sri Nam Sankirtan. And still because of our long-rooted conditioning, most of us, we find it very difficult in spite of such wonderful facilitating nature of Sankirtan, still because of wrong conditioning, because of negativity of our consciousness, our conditioning. The antithesis is revealed in the second sloka. In the third sloka, again the how to get over the antithesis, negativities. Third sloka explained about the attitude. That is like the anvaya. So third sloka describes the anvaya. Anvaya means the things if we incorporate in our system, this is like putting new conditioning, modification. Yes, we can develop wonderful attitude. That's wonderful. But at the same time, the negative aspirations may still haunt us. So it's a very wonderfully, so today in today's sloka, we will focus on that Vyatirek aspect. So let us see how we continue through our last discussion about our attitude. So on this path, Mahaprabhu has exposed the highest gift, the treasure. And to be able to receive it, our attitude has to be like a true beggar. Because we are so much bereft of it. We are deprived of it since eternity. It is so priceless. So the proper attitude has to be, we have to be always be conscious that we are beggars. They say that beggars cannot be choosers, there is a saying. But we are begging not ordinary thing. So that rule does not apply to the beggars of Mahaprabhu's mercy or the beggars of those beggars who are begging for what Mahaprabhu wants to give us. Because even when Mahaprabhu so freely wants to give this to us, we can only have it. We can earn the eligibility only by begging it so fervently. Because begging, literally crying, krandanam yadi janasi. So unless we develop that attitude of begging, so how we should think as beggars? Yes, I'm a beggar, but am I an ordinary beggar? Beggars can also have categories. We cannot, if we have been stamped as beggar, why to remain ordinary? Of course, begging is ordinary, correct? But if the begging is begging for something which is not possible in any other way, by any other means, only by begging, that begging, the fervent begging becomes anything but ordinary. Because we are beggars of the highest thing, that should give some status of begging. It's not ordinary begging at all. We shouldn't be ashamed of begging, such begging. If the object is so sublime, if the object is highest thing, then our resolve should be that let no disturbance dissuade me from my attempt. Hey, beggars, get out of here. Right? People are used to, people don't appreciate beggars around them. But because this kind of begging, or the begging alone will work to achieve the fortune of the highest thing, then we won't be dissuaded by anyone in our attempt for begging the highest thing. At the same time, beggars cannot be arrogant. So at the same time, with the environment and everything around us, we have to be respectful. People will not like us beggars even, although we are no ordinary beggars. But beggar, by very word, is a negative, not very appreciative or lofty or prestigious status, correct? That's why it's a very special kind of beggar one becomes. And we should not be ashamed of it. Just because in the society, the public, to be called a beggar is not a very good thing. So in this way, we become educated how to achieve the highest perfection of Krishna consciousness. Because this begging was not possible in other ages. This fervent begging, this total surrender, hands up, was not possible in other ages. That's why Mahaprabhu chose this Kali Yuga, because under the force of circumstances, a person becomes so exhausted because of his bankruptcy, bankrupt situation. There was no concept of becoming bankrupt or feeling bankrupt in other ages. This concept is only in Kali Yuga, and it's not a very good concept, correct? But the worst or the last thing a person wants is to become bankrupt, correct? But that situation alone, the feeling that bankrupt, that incapacitated, becomes the qualification to receive the priceless mercy of Mahaprabhu. When we are up to something so sublime, actually, nobody is in conflict with us. You understand? Because what we are hankering after is unlimited. But most people of this world are not interested in it. So there should be no conflict, right? Most people are not interested in what we are interested in. So how can there be conflict? That's why we won't allow the, the environment to disturb us. Rather, we have to just move through the environment. You know, if the environment wants to follow us, people, it's well good, because everybody can move towards the unlimited treasure. Everybody can have their full share. But even if the environment is not favorable to us, we should not see it in conflict, because nobody can block us, nobody can block our progress except only myself. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says that environment is all favorable. Chaudi ke anand dekhi. Atmanivedan tuya pade kari. Ainu param sukhi. Dukha dure gelo chinta na rahilo. Chaudi ke anand dekhi. Atmanivedan. When we have this resolve of total surrender, we start perceiving that everything is positive. Environment is not in conflict with us. Only I myself have been in conflict with my own highest interest, because I have not become the beggar of the ultimate thing. I have been beggar in many ways of not the highest thing, but the non-absolute thing. That was the conflict. My highest self-interest is in begging the absolute highest thing, but I have been begging and hankering only for non-absolute thing. So I was the only obstacle for myself. So when we self-surrender to the absolute authority on this path, then we find that wow, no other person, nothing else, no environment, no situation is opposing me. Everything is favorable, because nothing is in conflict with me. Either it is moving with us, or the environment is not moving with us. We are not bothered by anything, because we have taken the absolute direction. We are just moving in that direction. So then we can respect any environment, anybody who comes our way, apparently positively or negative, doesn't matter. So can we have this resolve and this contemplation that nobody is in opposition to us. The environment is not in opposition to us. If I have freed myself by being in opposition to myself, my highest interest. In opposition to myself means in opposition to my highest interest. So when my highest interest and my aspiration or my hankering or my begging for that highest interest, same thing, correct? Then Nothing is in conflict. Then, even on conventional level, whosoever is in whatever position, situation, we can accept it. Yes, if somebody is king, we can say, yes, king. Respect to the king, respect to the minister, respect to even to the beggar who are begging non-absolute things. We don't hate or look down upon the people. Rather, we become very considerate of them, because we can recall our own position that we have been since eternity the beggars of the non-absolute thing. Now, just because we have started in the right direction, the same potential is in others who appear to us as begging for non-absolute thing. Are they are they subject to our disrespect? No. Rather, if possible, we can help them. And if it's not possible, we don't hate them. If possible, we can help them. But if not possible, even we don't hate them. So we can be in resolve with any circumstance, because our our own moving forward to achieve the highest perfection of our human potential is yet to be accomplished. So how can we become entangled negatively with anyone? Our vision, our attitude should be only favoring our moving forward. And that vivek, that discretion, we are all blessed with. Every human being is endowed with that intelligence. Nobody is ayogya hai. Ayogya hai purusho nasti. So our mentality, das dasanudas. Correct? That is what Mahaprabhu has described our identity. So when one takes shelter of the lotus feet of a pure devotee, then one is given one, nomenclature or a name which is reflecting our Swarupa. Name reflecting our Swarupa. And in that attitude, we appreciate taking the position of the slave of the slave of the slave of the Lord. Is it an ordinary position? Slave of the Lord, who is the Supreme. If we want to chant the name of Krishna, then we don't waste our energy with the trifling things, because chanting the holy name of Krishna is too valuable, too sublime to be entangled with trifling things of this world. We don't allow our attention to be disturbed by the teeny acquisition, small accomplishments like prestige or gain, because this non-absolute temptations due to our previous non-absolute conditioning, what they do, they just keep us anchored here, keep us entangled here. Don't let us move in the absolute direction. All these acquisitions, prestige or gain, comparatively, somebody may have more money or more physical comfort or all these things, correct? But this all agantuk, they come and go. So why to identify with those accomplishments or those acquisitions. We have to remember. What we have to remember, that we are trying for the greatest thing. So our whole bigger, undivided, Tibrina Bhakti Yogena. We have to go full force in that to achieve the greatest thing. Not that 20%, 30% we can just still hang on here for this and that, and 70% there. 70% and 100%, big difference, correct? You 70% and 100%. How in one 70% and 30%? I mean 30% energy is pulling us in the backward direction. So 70 minus 30 is only 40%. Mathematics to the law of karma. Huh? Law of karma means if you are putting your 30% energy in a wrong direction, then 70% which you are putting in positive direction, the pool of 30 will be removed from 70. So one may say, oh well, I'm putting 70% energy in the positive direction, 30%, but is in the wrong direction. Then our force going 70% energy in the right direction will be pulled back by 30%, only 40%. But if the greatest thing we are hanking or going forward after, why not 100%? That vivek, that enlightenment, that awakening must be there. Will we remember that we are trying for the greatest thing? And all other things are so insignificant in comparison that we definitely, we should have the resolve, we should have the readiness that we can let go. We can let go. We can let go. Because in comparison to the highest perfection of Krishna consciousness, there is nothing that can be so important, So we don't waste our energy and valuable time. We become economical, we become very choosy, we become very selective. Because we have the chance to achieve the highest goal of all. So through the study of scriptures and Nityam Bhagavad Seva, that principle Bhagavad Dharma, it keeps us tuned into that we have opted to achieve the highest perfection, highest gift, highest treasure, whatever you want to call. And this chance we don't want to let go. We don't want to let this vision, this vigor, this fervor be diluted by any distractions. So that was the thing. So what are those things which may do this? So this Vyatireka. Anvay means what we do and what we should not do. So this we'll discuss in fourth sloka today. Na dhanam na janam na sundarim kavitam va jagadish kamaye mama janmani janmanishware bhavatat bhakti rahaitu ki tvai. See, see the focus of Mahaprabhu, how much he is ready to let go those things the most of the people in this world are hankering after, letting go. Na dhanam, na janam, na sundarim, kavitam va jagadish kamaye. Mama janmani janmanishware bhavatat bhakti rahitu ki tvai. Wow, what an absolute determination. Oh Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth. Na dhanam, na janam. Janam is followers, all the comforts. Na sundarim, beautiful women. Sundarim, sense gratifications. That is the connotation. I have no desire to accumulate wealth. Wow. How much different we would be from ordinary masses. No followers, no comforts, and people all around to serve us. The objects of sense gratification, Sundarim, Kavitam Vag. Kavitam is prestige and the status above all. Everybody stuck here in this world. I'm liberated. I'm above. I know. I'm happy. That is being in the mode of goodness. Tatra sattvam nirmalatvat prakashakam anamayam sukha sangena badnati jnana sangena chanake. Lord Krishna tells Arjuna, see, whichever sloka in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is telling Arjuna directly, taking his name, addressing him with a specific name. Anagha, O sinless one. The trap of the mode of goodness is that one thinks that one jnana sangena, I know. If you know something you cannot love, we love something or we find it fascinating as long as we have this, our estimation. Our appraisal is that, wow, I don't know how valuable something is, how beautiful is something, much more to be explored, much more to be revealed, much more mystery still. Then we are still fascinated in the thing or about the person we meet or we associate to. The moment, if our estimation is that I know, that means now no more fascination, no more love. So that must not happen because that would be detrimental. So na kavitam, no salvation. So those who are in mode of goodness, they think jnana sangena, they know knowledge is liberation, correct? But that is another science to claim that one knows. Yashya matam tasya matam matam yashyana vedasa, one who does not have his opinion that he knows the absolute. Only he is right. Absolute is unlimited, correct? So anyone in the name of knowledge, if one thinks that he knows the Supreme, he knows the unlimited, that means he has lost it. He doesn't know it. So that is ignorance, correct? So apparent, the mode of goodness is nothing but the absolute ignorance. To claim that I know the unlimited, I know the absolute. So acknowledging that I do not know, that is knowing, that is something. That I do not know is knowing, and it is a fact. But to claim that I know is ignorance. So in the mode of goodness, this is what happens. Sukha sangena badnati jnana sangena chanake. I am happy and I know. So I am above all, but above all where? Only within this realm, three modes of material nature, he has not transcended this realm. So he is stuck here, and those who follow him, they remain also stuck. We don't want to take that risk, that in comparative superiority or comparatively better of situation, circumstances, or proposals of this world, they fall short of the potential we have to attain the absolute achievement of causing the, or in accordance to the potential we have. or attaining the highest perfection of our human potential, the absolute realm. Then what one wants? My only prayer is Mama Janmani Janmanishwari, is for your causeless devotional service, birth after birth. Ah, we have taken so many births, and but this time only to target that thing which Mahaprabhu has come to give us. And if you have to wait birth after birth, we won't mind. We have anyway waited since eternity. So few more births, at least we will be tuned into the only absolute thing. Only by connecting in our hankering, in our craving, the absolute thing. Maybe one day, someday, that absolute may find our attitude of crying or hankering and desperation for it, find it very attractive, and we may be pulled up. Huh? Crying in desperation is the only thing in our hand. Everything else is beyond our reach. So we have to be that exhausted for anything else and fully consumed. We should allow ourselves to become fully consumed, to be pulled up by the absolute mercy of the divine, of the absolute Lord. See, so our direction is very clear. We should try to move in this direction. Bhavatat bhakti rahaitu tvai. All I pray is for your causeless devotional service. Causeless. Ahaitu tvai. Only when a devotee's sadhak is able to absorb oneself in relishing the sweetness of Krishna's Nama, Rupa, Guna, Leela, name, form, pastimes, and qualities. His all other hankering stop. It is not like in translation Prabhupada that one should perform pure devotional service without any other hankering, correct? But the inner meaning is that the performance of pure devotional service, so the process of hearing and chanting, relishing the name, form, pastime, and qualities of Krishna. It is so absorbing. Ko nirvito hari katasu ratim na kuryat. Ko nirvito. Nirvito means absorbing, which causes absorption, or which gives you so much joy. In one sloka in Bhagavatam, it's very fascinating. The beginning of that sloka is Nivritta. Jnanam yada prati nivritta. Nivritta means which frees one from the worldly entanglement. The transcendental knowledge, jnanam yada prati nivitta gunormi chakra. Gunormi chakra means the entanglement in the three modes of material nature. Jnanam yada prati nivitta gunormi chakra. Atma prasad. Atma prasad की मुत गुणेशु असंग है कैवल्य सम्मत पथस्त्वथ भक्ति योग को निर्वृतो हरि कथा सु. So Hari Katha is described as nirvrita. Nirvrita means becoming free from it. And nirvrita means causing absorption or so pleasing. Ko nirvrito Hari Katha su ratim na kuryat. Who would not develop Hari ratim na kuryat? Who wouldn't want to fall in love of the Hari Katha descriptions of pastimes, qualities, the form, beauty, sweetness of the Lord, which are so absorbing, so pleasing. Who wouldn't want to fall in love with them? So that is the thing. So the performance of a pure devotional service is by very nature is so pleasing, so blissfully in experience that one will not have any other cause in front of it, you know. It's by very performance, it is so fulfilling. Where is the question of having any other purpose for performing pure devotional service? But those who are not able to appreciate this aspect of performing pure devotional service, you know, in the beginning stage, they may want dhanam janam while performing apparently performing devotional service, chanting, hearing, and all these things. They may still want to give me wealth, give me facility, give me people, give me sense gratification, give me prestige, and all these things. You know. All these things people hanker even to begin the path of pure devotional service, but not knowing its real nature. Slowly and gradually, when they through right direction and right attitude, they come to realize, oh, the performance itself is so blissful. Why should we hanker for anything else? So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, I don't want any money, na dhanam. I don't want any popularity or manpower, na janam. I don't want the company of beautiful ladies. Na sundarim, I don't want a good name or the fame of a poet, Kavitam va Jagadish Kame. Jagadish. So this is the general apparent meaning of this sloka, but it goes very deep. You can have Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, what he's trying to convey to all of us is that you are all capable. Oh Lord, you are all capable to bestow anything. I know you are capable. That's why you are Jagadish. You are the Lord of the universe. But if one really appreciates the status and the glory of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, what should be the best thing to ask from him? That is what Mahaprabhu is revealing here. He say, oh, I don't want to be in disadvantage coming in connection to you, being able to pray to you. If I know your status as Jagadishwar, what one should beg Jagadishwar? What is the highest gift one can get from Jagadishwar or the Supreme Personality of Godhead? I only pray for spontaneous devotion to you without motive for any reward, because if I want from the Lord anything but the Lord, I will become centered. But if I want pure devotional service, then I get the Lord. See the situation of Duryodhana and Arjuna, Mahabharata. Both know Krishna is very great, wonderful, everything. So the greatness of Krishna or the glories of Krishna, the opulence of Krishna, everything. The source is Krishna. Those you see them separated as Duryodhana so. Duryodhana so, oh, Krishna says you can have either me or my Narayani Seva. So Duryodhana say, how? But I will not fight. I will not take any weapons in my hand. So Duryodhana is thinking, wow, if Krishna is not going to fight on my side, he will remain just aloof. What use is he? He's seeing that Krishna's potency is separated from him. Is Narayani Seva and all of this. Only limited, correct? Okay. Without them, Krishna is useless for me. Arjuna is seeing the wholesome. Krishna, Arjuna knows Krishna is Jagadishwar. If Krishna is on my side, he can create unlimited army. He's all capable. So same person, Duryodhana is perceiving Krishna in a different vision, correct? Non-absolute vision. Arjuna is seeing Krishna in absolute vision. So this is the prayer. This would be a prayer of Arjuna. Mama Janmanishwari, Mama Janmanishwari Bhavatad Bhakti Rahetu Kitvahi. It is not the prayer of Duryodhana. So many may be praying to Krishna, even apparently on the path of pure devotional service, but their attitude may be, their vision may be only as developed as that of Duryodhana. We need to at least come the minimum evolvement of our vision of Krishna is Arjuna. That's the minimum. We can go even further. We know that we want to make Krishna, or rather, we want to only hanker what Krishna has come to give us. Or Krishna has come, and Krishna is his manobhishta. Krishna has, it is the ambition of Krishna. It is the desire of Krishna that he wants to bestow the highest perfection of our human potential in Radha Dasya. So the minimum is this is sloka. At least we can give pure devotional service. And pure devotional service are different categories, levels, you know. But Mahaprabhu, in the assuming the mood and sentiments of Srimati Radharani, although in disposition Mahaprabhu is Radharani, but he is Krishna nonetheless. So Krishna can glorify the fortune of those who take shelter of Radharani's lotus feet. Because that fortune which is so exclusive of Radharani, Krishna got the opportunity to experience the joy of Radharani's fortune. And when he realized the unlimited nature of that joy, and he wanted to glorify the matchless love of Srimati Radharani. And establishing that taking shelter of her lotus feet by becoming confidential of Srimati Radharani, one can, by the causeless mercy of Srimati Radharani, one can experience the highest level of Krishna Madhurya. By no other means, even on spiritual platform, one can have that much blissful experience is available in Radha Dasya. Correct? So Mahaprabhu says, I only pray for spontaneous devotion to you without motive, without any reward, because attaining spontaneous devotion to you itself is the most ultimate reward. So that reward cannot be compromised with any other reward or exchanged. And for that, I want a natural service attitude. I want to give myself. rather than now getting something from you. Spontaneous devotion means now I want to remain involved with you. I want to remain connected. I want to become yours. Service attitude. I cannot separate myself from giving myself to you for your joy, for your satisfaction, rather than hankering for any other joy of this world from you, because you are Jagadishwar. You can give me anything, but if I'm really smart, if I'm really awakened to my absolute fortune, then the only thing left to be anchored for us by us is the spontaneous pure devotional service. And that attitude is, I want a natural service attitude. Love, prema. Prema means affection. Prema means I shall give you, I shall serve you. That is love. If one truly loves someone, the attitude, the service attitude would be, I shall serve you, and in remuneration, in reward, what I want. Every service is connected, or it comes with some reward, or some remuneration rather. So in remuneration, remuneration is there. There is motivation. Here, remuneration is motivation. So what is our motivation? A pure servant or a person with a pure serving attitude, it is not that he become desireless, or he has no attachment to anything else. No. His attachment is for more service. So as remuneration, you must give me more of a tendency to serve you more. Give me more energy and more hankering to serve you more. How wonderful. Because now I cannot imagine not in a position to serve you more and more and more, endlessly. And that is only possible that I don't become exhaust of serving you. And how I will not become exhaust? Only if you can bless me with more service attitude, more of a tendency to serve you more energy and more hankering to serve you. My affection for you will be enhanced, and the interest will become. My affection for you will be enhanced, and the remuneration which you give me is tendency to serve you more. It will add up to my capital. What is our capital? Our serving attitude, the opportunity we get to serve the Supreme Lord. Serving means something that will please. And by pleasing you, if you are pleased, then give me more. More to be able to please you more. So that is how the remuneration which comes as a interest, my interest is a greatest service attitude. And let that interest, rather than be used for my any ulterior outside motivation, my only motivation to be able to serve you more and to please you more. So that interest which you give me as reward, as remuneration of my original service attitude, let it add up to the capital. Just like in money lending business, person who invests, then if he needs, he can, every month or whenever he can pull out some, because The investors give some interest on it. Now just keep adding to the capital. He becomes free from any ulterior motive other than just keep adding the capital. Let the interest add to the capital. In this way, a sadhaka, a devotee, he becomes very blessed. That is the pure praying to Krishna. I'm serving you, and if you want to pay me something, then give me more capital to increase my service tendency, service attitude. So it may be more enhanced, more enhanced. No going down. So keep on increasing, increasing. Mama Janmani Janmanishware Bhavtat Bhakte Hetu Kirtaya. So Mama Janmani means due to cycle of my karma, because of inexhausted karma, we again we are subjected to the cycle of birth and death. So if that is the thing, because it is your arrangement, my Lord. I don't want, I don't even hanker that you free me from that entanglement, because it is by your anumodan, it is by your by will. Why should I fight or oppose or so whenever I am born according to my karma, I aspire only for your service. Let me just continue as per your arrangement. I'm not resisting, I'm not opposing, or I'm not begging that give me better situation, give me better anything. All I want is just continue, bestow the service attitude, the tendency to serve you more and more and more. That service tendency will make us capable to be able to serve and praise and glorify the Lord under all circumstances. And that tendency cannot be checked by external atmosphere. And external atmosphere, however apparently unfavorable, it is under the control of Krishna. So how can it be bad for us? You understand my point? Tattenu kampam susamikshamaну. Gunjana evatma kritam vipakam hridvag vapurvir vidadhan namaste jivetayo mukti pade bhakti pade sadai bhag. So the attitude of a devotee sadhaka, his vision of this whole atmosphere, no matter where he is situated, if he is able to think of the Lord in his merciful nature, whatever circumstance has been ordained in our quota, in our life, it is sanctioned, ordained by Krishna. Don't you think that I deserve better facility because I'm trying to become your pure devotee? So becoming a pure devotee or hankering to become a pure devotee does not depend on our external circumstances. Rather, we start perceiving Krishna's mercy everywhere. because I aspire only for your service, my Lord, and I pray for unmotivated service, not for anything else in return. The general temptation that surrounds us on four sides, you know, even in a civilized, so-called civilized Vedic society, the general training of the thought, through tradition is dharma is the kam moksha. So the gradations of different goals of life have been, but only for those who have not been awakened as yet. Those who are not found themselves in Uchchadhikar. Uchchadhikar means the absolute fervor, or only desire, hanker for pure devotional service. Before that is imbibed in our consciousness, one has to go through this bodily platform, the aspirations on the bodily platform, within the framework of religiosity, within the framework of allowance provided by the Supreme Lord. Bhagavatam says, Dharmam tu sakshat bhagavad pranitam. Dharma, for the duties prescribed by the human society in the name of Varna and Ashrama, who are subjected to them, those who have not attained sufficient satsanga, or association of pure devotees who are absorbed in the performance of pure devotional service. Ahaituki. In order to provide them some following the arrangement of the Lord. So those who follow Varnashram Dharma, at least they follow some direction or some order of the Supreme Lord. Otherwise, if they don't follow the duties of Varnashram Dharma, they fall down to the animal level. No restrictions, total chaos. So those who in the name of religion follow the arrangement provided by the Supreme Lord for those who are not raised their consciousness through the association of pure devotees, at least because they have this feeling that we follow religion also. And within this religious arrangement, there is a possibility of attaining satsang of pure devotees. Acharya Devo Bhava, Atithi Devo Bhava, we respect the parents, we respect the saintly people, we respect the guests also. So in Vedic culture, the guest is to be honored. Whatever help, if he needs, we can provide. We should provide. We never know whether Krishna comes as a guest to check us. If we have this strong identification that I'm a very religious, pious person, that may be tested by Krishna. So in the culture of following Varnashram Dharma, a devotee is trained to be aware of these things. So in the process of in the sanskara of honoring the saintly people, if he comes across a pure devotee, then a pure devotee association can ignite his pure devotional attitude. Then he realizes, oh, my human potential is to become a pure devotee of Krishna and attain his supreme abode and attain the most confidential service of Krishna by the name Sri Radha Dashyam. Then naturally his spirit can be uplifted. But until then, at least if he continues to follow his Varnashram Dharma, then there is a possibility that he may receive association of pure devotees, and that way Bhagavad Bhakti, Bhagavad Bhakta Sangena Parijayate. The pure devotional service is ignited only by the association of the pure devotees of the Supreme Lord. Thereby, that's why Mahaprabhu wants to pull us out of that, the boundary or the of dharma, varnashram dharma even, where dharma is the kam moksha is only targeted. Mahaprabhu says, no, I have no attraction for any of these things, but only for you, my Lord. I don't even aspire after liberation, moksha. Actually, satsang, the association of pure devotees, is the only good thing in this world, which is plagued by so many negatives, so many ailments, so many things in the name of even spirituality. So devotees, by attaining the highest benefit of satsang or associating with a pure devotee, he's just revealing his thought. Aho Mahatman, Bahudosha. Although it's Kali Yuga, it's a lot of faults and everything, but even among, even in that atmosphere with so many faults and negativities, there is one thing shines like a bright star in our life. Satsange Vakya, association of pure devotee, which has caused even the removal of desire for moksha in my life. In the name of religious boundary, the aspiration or the sadhana to become liberated from the cycle of birth and death, that is considered the highest moksha. And the desire for moksha is very powerful. It puts one comparatively in the society in a very lofty position. The whole society is hankering and rushing for sense gratification, and somebody frees oneself from that rat race for sense gratification and becomes free through sadhana for moksha, liberation from this mundane entanglement. But that is the highest deprivation of attaining the perfection of our human potential, leave alone the highest perfection of our human potential. Because in Swarup, in identity, our eternal, permanent identity is that we are eternal servant or made servant of Krishna. But when one becomes stuck with the aspiration of moksha or liberation, then he becomes bereft, he becomes deprived to hanker for the service of the Supreme Lord. So that's why satsang alone will free us from all the anartha. Tato du sangam utsrijya satsu sajjeta buddhiman santahe evasya chindyanti mano vyasanga mukti. Santa evasya, the saintly person, a pure devotee, will certainly, asya means of that person who takes his shelter. Santa evasya chindanti, he will shred away, he will uproot all the long-rooted anarthas of that person who takes shelter, unconditional shelter of the pure devotee. Mano vyasangam mukti, which have become part of his system, is excessive attachment of the mind. Very difficult to give. But only when one becomes attached, one becomes, when you become someone's, at what level you become, one becomes someone else's, only at the stage of asakti. So satsu sajjita, that's why I say satsu sajjita. A person truly becomes intelligent, buddhiman, by becoming attached to the most blessedness of a pure devotee. then inevitably he also becomes his, like him. By becoming his, he also becomes a pure devotee. So that potential Mahaprabhu is trying to expose to all of us. Only for you, my Lord. I don't even aspire after liberation. I don't even ask, give me liberation for being liberated. I will be able to serve you better. Because Lord knows best what position, what condition to put us in. Our focus may lose. Our focus should be only Jai Vidhi Rakiram Tahi Vidhi Rahiye. Whichever way Krishna you want to keep me, put me, I'm fine. I just continue worshiping you, hankering for more worship. If my focus because Krishna give me liberation or give me better facilities so that I can serve you better, then focus will be diluted. Correct? That much focus until Krishna changes my situation. Until then, my hankering is ulterior motive. So even to be able to serve Krishna better, we should not try to modify or try to correct Krishna. Correct? Krishna, why are you putting me in such situation? I want to serve you. So change my situation. Is it not a fair deal, Krishna? I want to serve you better. So give me better facility. Give me liberation. So that sort of condition must not be placed on divinity. That's why we give the example. Whatever situation, whatever sanskaras we are born with and continuing, when our spiritual awakening, when our spiritually awakened, we cherish whatever situation, whether we are diseased or we are in poverty or we are in this situation, that situation. So in this present, my situation, externally, maybe plus, minus, better, worse, doesn't matter. But in this present situation, I'm awakened spiritually. Whatever circumstance we are facing in our present, those circumstances have played a role for us to come to the point of this present satsang, isn't it? So in the present moment, don't you think that we are the most blessed? We are so blessed. Now we have the opportunity to become fully blessed. That is, rather than thinking, oh, I wish I was like that, or we must give up that attitude, that tendency. That means we are complaining. I wish, I wish. There's a connotation of complaint in this. Krishna, whatever condition you have put me, it's only your causeless mercy. All I beg is that just whichever condition I have to go through because of my karma or life after life, I just continue. Please bless me that I continue serving you. I continue having a progressive service attitude towards you. That much readiness. So the example of which is the best car, which is the best used car, best used car means the car which has been used. No? We are all used cars or not. I'm using my body as the used car I have. Everybody has the used car, their bodies. So what do you think? Which body is better? That's why which used car is better? Which used car is the best? I read this sign in America. In America, many people, if not most, many people used car. They cannot afford the new car or the payment of it. I have never purchased. ever any new car. Even if we had the money, why to use new car? Uh, so we become economical, correct? We become so our present body is our used car. Even if it's we used it new, when we were born. So far we have been using it. So which is the best used car? So the answer is the car which we are using right now. Because we are used to our body, the used car. What are nuances, what are place, and we have that much faith in our used car. Yes, it has been carrying us this far, it will carry us further. But if I think, oh, I wish I had that male body, if the females had, or I wish I had female body, like finding others' used car is more attractive. But we do not know their situations, what their bodies are going through. Apparently, somebody maybe in the body as a queen, princess, or whatever. But do we have any idea? If we have their circumstances, we would be even as much desiring for Krishna consciousness. Our circumstances are best suited to our moving forward in Krishna consciousness. We should never fight with rather we should just continue, even while struggling, because our body, our antakaran, we are used to it. We can manage it to move forward. If we start driving and put in another's used car, another circumstances, we do not know what kind of karma trajectory they are having to have. So we can handle our problems, our situations better than anyone else's. So all I desire is that I be able to serve you more and better. So that sort of condition must not be put on divinity that change my situation. So this is the purest of prayers. According to my karma, I may be a bird or beast, here or there, or even in hell, it doesn't matter. Now I'm connecting. Now I have connected in prayerful mood with you. I'm connected to you in this prayerful mood. Now, which position I should be in, it's your problem. It is no more my problem. See the point? Why should I worry if I have to take 100 births? I have just the thing which is in my hand, and that is only hanker for pure devotional service. Everything else, nothing else should concern me anymore. My whole aspiration is concentrated on one thing alone. I pray that my attraction for you may never be lost. I pray that it may always be enhanced. That is ahetuki bhakti. वासुदेवे भगवती भक्ति योग है प्रयोजित जनयति आशु वैराग्यम ज्ञानम च तद अहेतुकम. Ahetuki Gyan in pure devotional service, same thing. Gyan means experience. So performance of Vasudeva Bhakti gives such lofty, blissful experience. Then it hankers nothing else. Ahetuki Gyan. Gyanam chetad ahetukam. It is quite natural and has no other aspiration. The performance of bhakti can have no other aspiration. because the performance itself gives one such blissful experience. Someone may say, if interest is always being reinvested as capital, we will have nothing for us. Actually, the joy is in self-giving, not in hoarding for oneself or becoming self-centered. The goal is to become Krishna-centered. What will please him? So we build up in our consciousness, we build up in our attitude. Progressive attitudes serve more and more to become fully consumed, rather than thinking what is there for me separately or independently. How we will never enjoy the profit we have accumulated so much. But our enjoyment comes through self-giving by becoming fully consumed. Because we are Krishna's, correct? We are Krishna's. We are his. We are of the divine couple. So our joy is only in self-giving ourselves completely, rather than keeping anything independently. Because we have given ourselves completely for them, our worry cannot be ours now anymore. We have become theirs. So it is their worry. Why should we bother in their worry? We should focus only in self-giving unconditionally. Let others enjoy at my cost. What does it mean? Actually, this can be the basis of highest enjoyment when one becomes fully consumed for the benefit of others. That's where the concept comes. Dasa dasanudasa. It's a very lofty idea to become servant of God, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But what about those who are already devoted to them, and those who are devoted to them and them? So those who are das or devoted, or they are very dear to Krishna. So if we self-give ourselves completely for the satisfaction of those who have caused so much satisfaction to Krishna, don't you think Krishna will be so much more pleased? Because if you want to serve only Krishna directly, then there could be big queue, no? Lots of people maybe in the line to serve the Lord, and we have to bypass and we have to just keep aside, push aside those others. Rather, if you can find the opportunity to serve those who have already pleased, those who are already pleasing Krishna, then it will be more favorably noticed. Srila Prabhupada used to give that example. If I love someone, I don't mind loving his dog also, because the dog is very dear to the person I want to love. Same principle comes here. So for us, the Lord is not limited to just Lord the person, Rupa. That's why the Nam Rupa, Guna, Lila, Dham, Parikar means Krishna's associates, devotees. And Avran, all the paraphernalia of his service, or the things which give him joy. So the Krishna becomes available to us through his devotees also. So we don't see Krishna's devotees is any less valuable or any less than Krishna. Rather, because Krishna is still a far cry for us. We will attain Krishna's direct association when we are transferred from this body by gaining the eligibility to be able to associate with Krishna with the fervor of purest love. And in order to attain that ultimate fortune, what is required during our lifetime is sadhaka, that we develop our joy or we find our joy in serving his devotees. And ultimately serving to all the devotees, but then also attaining, because we cannot serve unconditionally fully all, at least we can find our connection and our dedication to at least to one devotee. That's why Bhagavatam says, Sa eva sadhushu krito. Like the singular attachment a human being, a person has in this material world, that becomes the cause of his material bondage. That very singular attachment, very powerful, very strong attachment to a devotee. Strong attachment can be only to one person, singular. Cannot be simultaneous to more than one person. So then everything becomes revealed. So the association or our attachment to a pure devotee is not only becomes the means, but also the end. Strong attachment to a pure devotee culminates or is the guarantee of attaining a strong absolute attachment to the service of the lotus feet of the divine couple in Nikunja Mandir. Sri Guru Charane Rati Aise Uttama Gati Je Prasade Pure Sarva Asha. And you can become to attach to a person with whom you have one-to-one reciprocation, exchange. Without having exchange with a person, how one becomes attached to a person? How since eternity we could not become attached to Krishna? Because the process or the means of attaining that attachment is by becoming attached to his pure devotee. Identify at least one person amongst the sadhus who appears to us, who is perceived by us as the most blessed. And it will be very easy. If our hearts feels about someone's fortune or someone's status as the most blessed, and if you want to attain similar status, similar means if you want to become fully blessed, if you want to become a pure devotee, then it would be easier. When someone falls in love with someone, naturally that person appears as the most blessed or most attractive. Objectively speaking, many devotees could be have many special features or qualities, speech, demeanor, anything. You know? But the one we find it most attractive is unique, appears unique for us. And that is becoming attached to the sadhu. Sadhu is not just a great devotee. Sri Guru is not merely a great devotee. To think of the spiritual master as a great devotee is also offensive. Because then you will compare him somewhere with some others. And we think of even iota, even will think of one's spiritual master as less than any other sadhu. It's very offensive. Only when he appears as most blessed, then we will not diminish his position. So he is not merely a great devotee. He is the king amongst devotees for us. He is our Prabhupada, he is our Sripad, he is our everything. He is the person we aspire to have, Sri Guru Charanirati. The whole parampara appears, we feel consolidated in that person. His status is highest. And who holds the highest status on this path of Raganuga Bhakti in Radharasham? Radharani holds the highest position, status. So Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur says, our vision, our attitude towards the spiritual master on this path, we see the spiritual master in the position of Srimati Radharani. He's not replacement of Radharani, but because he is hers in Swarupa, the spiritual master is a confidential maidservant of Srimati Radharani, who has come in our life, and how we will treat her any less than Radharani herself? No, that would be duality. The scripture says Sri Guru Charanirati. If the highest status position is of Radharani, then we should hanker for attachment to Radharani's lotus feet, which is well. But during our lifetime, that status we can have for the spiritual master. Then we will not find any fault, or we will not have any expectation from her. Rather, we will always have service attitude. No, not comparing her status, or not because she is at the highest status. So if she is the highest, she is always right. And then, if we can appreciate someone in the highest status, that of Radharani, because Radharani holds the highest status, then we will not find any. We won't be able to find any fault with her or him. We'll see that he is always right, just as Radharani is always right, correct? Do you think any kinkaris or manjaris, they find any fault with Radharani? No. Our Swamini is always right. So that fortune a sadhak can have in relation with the spiritual masters. My spiritual master, who is our Radharani in this form. That's why we other just described. For us, our Guru Puja is puja or worship of Srimati Radharani in the form of the spiritual master. It's like a sample to feel the fulfillment of, to feel what it would be like to be with Srimati Radharani in our condition state. As a sadhaka, we can have that experience in relation with the spiritual master. So this principle will stick with in our consciousness all the way during this cultivation of this satsang. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur so wonderfully elaborated on these points, See to what extent Mahaprabhu, this devotional fervor, unconditional. The devotee is only interested in self-giving. Let others enjoy at my cost. That is the basis of the highest enjoyment. The devotee thinks, let Krishna enjoy with others. I will be the scapegoat. Who wants to become the scapegoat? Is Krishna not watching? Do you think Krishna is unjust? That, but if we feel, uh, if you feel injustice by anyone, actually no. It's only test whether we will think unjustice by Krishna. If Krishna is in control, since Krishna is in control always, 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 why should we worry more than we should? This was the slogan once we gave to one person, so he made a big board in his house and in his office. Since Lord Krishna is in full control, always, 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 why should I worry more than I should? It was, but that's a fact. We should have that much faith in Krishna, you know. We should be able to perceive that Krishna is in full control always, like that. So then, it's like our position is like a baby. Baby is like unsafe by itself. If some disease comes, it will attack it. Needs protection of the parents and others. He cannot defend himself. In the same way, in the beginning, our realization or our faith in the holy name is like a child, very, very fragile. Many crimes and offenses, they can break us, break that faith against the holy name. But when one's realization is grown up through good association or sajatiya sang, then no offense can approach him, because now he has self-guarded himself through the positive approach, the positive vision, to see every circumstance, every insult apparent, every negation as an instrument of Krishna to check him, what you are up to. Kitne pani mein ho tum? How deep we have gone in our contemplation, in absorbing ourselves in the beauty and the unlimited joy of Krishna consciousness. Okay, should we allow anything to disturb or baffle us? We have come this far. We are no more baby. We better be grown up. Then no offense can approach us. So many offenses may come and attack in the beginning stage. Are we still at the beginning stage? Should we not take the option to call ourselves grown up? Well, choice is ours. We cannot afford to remain like a baby or a child. We can be childlike, but we have to safeguard against offenses. That's why when the third sloka says, na dhanam, na dhanam, na janam, trinadapi sunichena tarorapi sahishnuna, amanina manadena kirtaniya sadari. It's a nice attitude, but one has to safeguard with this. One can have humble attitude, trinadapi sunichena, everything, but hankering for, that's why this Vyatireka bhava, na dhanam, na janam, na sundarim. This present sloka is very critical. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, the holy name is so beautiful, so gracious, and so charming. Let me die along with all the offenses against it, so that others can enjoy. People are suffering, people are deprived, self-depriving themselves from getting the highest benefit of holy name because of the offenses. So let me Let me take on myself all the offenses of the people, those who are participating in Sankirtan. Because of their offenses, they are not able to get the fullest benefit. So let me suffer, let me take all the, you know, so that others may enjoy its nectar. He wants to sacrifice himself just as in wartime. This beautiful example given in wartime, somebody very patriotic and he wants to give his maximum for the benefit of his country. So there were suicide bombs, in the First World War. The Japanese had such a vigor. They initiated this idea. They had limited army, but some of the soldiers, they just joined this like suicide squad. They will lot of bombs and lot of firepower put around them and just throw themselves in the opposition camp, and it will just blast like this. So that much readiness for self-sacrifice. So that was the Japan's campaign against the British. He wants to sacrifice himself just as, suicide bomb concept, which later on in the name of religious fanaticism, that was utilized. Suicide bomb. They would jump and just destroy the enemy camp. Actually, it is said that when Hitler heard about this in Germany, that he was very impressed. He was impressed. He said, "Oh, this thing we have to learn from the Japanese. It is one thing." Hitler acknowledged. Oh, somebody has a readiness to self-sacrifice oneself, deliberately jumping. So that is the attitude. But the devotional fervor is, it's not that we are killing anybody or killing ourselves. We are just readying ourselves to become fully consumed for the benefit of others. So I want to finish myself. Finish myself means becoming fully consumed, along with all the offenses against the name, that others may enjoy the nectar of the holy name. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, we find this example of Vasudeva Datta. What was he hankering? In Mahaprakash, in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, asks all his associates devotees, ask for a boon. So Vasudeva Datta comes, "Oh Lord, you are most merciful. You want to give me a boon? You have come to this world to deliver the whole everyone, correct? But because of these offenses and because of the negative tendencies, sinful tendencies, it's so difficult to deliver those. Due to sinful tendencies and offensive tendencies, how people can be delivered. So I beg you, Lord, let me suffer the reactions of all sinful and offensive tendencies of the people of this world, of this universe, so that you can very easily deliver of them. If one takes shelter of the holy name of the Lord without offenses, then it gives very quickly, one attains the love. And by attaining love, one is delivered from the entanglement of this material world forever. So that was the prayer of Vasudeva Datta. Let me suffer in the eternal hell, suffering uh, the reactions of sinful and offensive tendencies of people, so that they may benefit. Give them love of Krishna. So by that highly generous sentiment, do you think he died? Rather, he became the recipient of a special mercy, special glance of the Supreme Lord. So our struggle is for eternal living, correct? Our struggling is not for for dying. Dying is very easy. So when we say we are dying to live, the concept is that our struggle is to attain eternal life. Dying means if somebody very hungry and jumping to get some food, and in the process, if some accident takes place, he dies, right? So his struggle is not his struggle is not to die or finish his life. His struggle is to get that food so that he can sustain life. So that's how this saying came. We are dying to live. We are not living to die, are we? The purpose of living is not to die, but our struggle is to find eternal life, which is beyond death. When we have so much appreciation for the Lord that we feel that this kind of sentiment, which Vasudev manifested, we find a living attainment of a higher life, eternal life. And that is real enjoyment we want. Because the kind of treasure of unlimited blissful life, it is available for everyone. There is no dearth. It's not limited treasure. It is for everyone. So when we become blessed to peep into the eternal treasure of eternal blissful life, awaiting all of us, then don't you think we will be most liberal? We will be fully liberal to become a facilitator for the benefit of others, because we are not going to remain deprived. That's the point. Because the treasure awaiting is the position of gold medal for everyone. That is the concept. If unlimited or the gold medal available for every one of us, would we not be liberal and so loving in our attitude, in our behavior, promoting others rather than becoming consumed for self-promotion? Because on this, only until we become blessed to see the unlimited treasure awaiting all of us, we may remain crippled, we may remain with envy and all these tendencies because of the limitedness of this material world. But when we become connected by divine mercy to the unlimited source of joy and treasure, then we become liberal in our behavior with our fellow associates. So the last verse of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Sikshastakam, that was Trinadapi Sunichena, correct? So this thing, this readiness which we are discussing, there's an example when Narad Muni came to the gopis, remember? Gopis had that full readiness. In spite of the deterrents used by Narad Muni, are you not afraid of going to hell? Because Narad Muni came to beg the dust of their lotus feet to remove Krishna's headache. Everybody knows that story. And gopis, they so profusely, fully, okay, Krishna's head would be removed by taking dust from our feet. Let it be. That, and for that, even if they have to go to hell, do you think they will have to go to hell? But they were ready even for that. So when we don't fear even any consequences to do Pure devotional service for the pleasure of God. That is the point. So that is the highest level of self-sacrifice, self-giving, and that total self-giving is the very point of pure devotional service. The very life of a devotee is based on sacrifice. As much as there is sacrifice, there is benefit. And sacrifice means, does sacrifice have any limit? How much we have? We have very little. And even in that giving little, we struggle so much. But if we really hanker for eternal life of joy, then we should prepare ourselves to self-sacrifice to the highest limit. That way we don't die. We start living in the real sense. We can see that, yes, Krishna will love that kind of attitude. Krishna is the highest consumer known to the world. He manifests himself in this world to just attract our attention towards him. We should not hesitate to give ourselves to him completely. That attitude through satsang, we may one day, someday come together. Many things will be discussed because this sloka is very, very wonderful, very inspiring. So this is the Vyatirek aspect of, we not only have to just develop the attitude of Trinadapi Sunichit Tarodapi Sahishnuna, but at the same time we should also prepare ourselves for total sacrifice rather than hoarding. Hare Krishna. Thank you for your patience for listening, and we all listen. Something someone would like to say, share, or ask, anything, please come forward. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Shri Guru. Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Amazing, amazing class, Shri Guru. And especially this point, whenever we hear, this always brings fascination in our heart that we see our Shri Guru as Srimati Radharani. Such a brilliant concept, Shri Guru, you have introduced us with. If anybody have any questions, please kindly unmute, and if anybody wants to say anything.
All right then.
Hare Krishna, Shri Guru Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna. Whenever I ask for all right, something comes out from you. So we found a way to get you.
Yes. Everything is fine, Shri Guru. This all right is not fine towards the end.
But it gives me some hope that something will
Yes.
come out.
And amazing satsang, Shri Guru.
So we can have that liberty, correct?
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
Yes.
We can be hopeful. Yes.
Each and every word, each and every sentence is pure nectar, and keeping Mahaprabhu's message, Mahaprabhu's mood, mission, everything at the center, Shri Guru, and very sublime, very encouraging, and understanding everything in line with Mahaprabhu's mode, mission, and how do I navigate myself, how do I continue in that attaining that message, Shri Guru. And so succinctly you put in like the beauty of devotional service, life after life, the craving is Shri Guru. Again, for us, you are the complete package. You are Krishna, you are Radharani, you are everything for us, and everything expands. It is through you only, Shri Guru. Koti Koti Pranam, Shri Guru.
Shri Swamini Mati Astu. Kirtani Sadahri.
Hare Krishna, Shri Guru.
Hare Krishna. How much we can expand on Sikshastakam? They are like the essence of all the teachings, and we cannot expand enough, na? So that kind of appreciation we must gain, that we cannot expand. It's like concentrated, unlimited nectar in each sloka. You cannot reach the end of its glory, end of its depth. In the process of describing the depth or the unlimited depth of this message, we should find ourselves becoming fully consumed. That is that. So that we never ever even imagine to think that we can claim anything. Continue. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Om. So
Hare Krishna. We will chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra 3 times to honor our Shri Guru with love. Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare.
Hare Hare.
Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare
हृदय से कहेंगे परम पूज्य भक्ति स्वरूप गोविंद महाराज की
जय
जय
हो,
हो जय
जय
जय गुरुदेव जय जय गुरुदेव
Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Om.
Pranam Shri Guru, Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna. So we lost one last Wednesday, correct?
Yes.
If you want to have one that lost some time, You can let us know. Otherwise, we will continue as usual every Wednesday.
Yes, Shri Guru.
Let us know. Natali, you
We are available to listen whenever you are speaking, Shri Guru.
all right. Hare Krishna. Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari 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 Bol. Nitai Gaur Premanande.
हरे कृष्णा दंडवत प्रणाम गुरुदेव.
Boliye, say something.
ऐसा बहुत बढ़िया, बहुत guiding very nicely. Only we have to walk on the path, the will, the way you have already shown. All we have to do is to walk on that road, that's all, and we will all achieve the aim with your mercy.
We can do this by not isolating ourselves. Together, we can be pushed and pulled forward only. That's it.
Yes,
If we
yes, yes.
if we can
Yes.
find ourselves somebody pushing us or pulling us, we'll be fine. ठीक है?
Yes, sir.
Hare
Hare Krishna. Dhanavad Pranam Gurudev.
Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari 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 Bol.
प्रणाम श्री गुरु. हरे
Hare
कृष्णा.